Alright, so today we're going to be going over complex numbers. This is just going to be a quick tutorial because this should be a review for you guys. You should have seen this before. I'm sure you guys remember, it's the square root of -1. You can't actually take the square root of -1 because if you multiply a negative by a negative, you get a positive. If you multiply a positive by a positive, you get a positive. So there's impossible to get something that ends up being negative. So because of that, you can't have the square root of a negative number. So we just kind of give it this I, this imaginary unit distinction. Okay, the definition of a complex number is any number that's in the form of a plus bi. In this case, a is a real number and b is a real number. If you have b equal to 0, which means that it would be 0 times this imaginary unit, you would have a real number because you would just have I. If you want a pure imaginary number, a would have to be equal to 0. So that would knock this a out, you'd end up with just bi, and you'd have a pure imaginary number. This will help you solve imaginary number problems. So say you have the square root of some negative number n. I'm not actually going to put a number in here because I want you guys to do that thinking. So this is not really a full example that you're going to see in today's problems. But so say I take the square root of -n. It's equal to the square root of n times the square root of -1. I just factored out that -1 right there. And if we know from before our definition, the square root of -1 is I right here, I just replace that -1 with an I, and this would be your simplified answer for the complex number. If you have any questions, let me know.